Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. This is another paid request, this time for Dan. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting for anyone, you could request a topic, a reaction, review, commentary, re-review, randomness, out of blueness, pretty much anything. Feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box down below. Now this is for Urban Legends 2, or Urban Legends Final Cut from 2000. Now, I liked the first Urban Legends. I thought it was an entertaining slasher film. I like a lot of the cast. You have people like Robert Englund and Brad Dourif at the very beginning, Michael Rosenbaum, who was Lex Luthor in Smallville. And I like the idea. Kills based on the Urban Legends motifs. I thought, of the slasher movies of that time, it was entertaining for what it needed to be. Now the sequel, I wasn't sure how I feel about watching it again, because it's been a while since I've seen this. And I liked it. I was kind of pleasantly surprised by it. Now there are issues. John Ottman, he's a composer. He did music for Lake Placid and Halloween H2O and other movies. Directing is not his forte. Once in a while, he tries to go a bit, I don't want to say overboard, but dealing with jump scares or there's a bit more gore, maybe a bit more body count would have been nice to see in this film. But I like the cast. I like the idea behind the film. I thought some of this meta stuff actually worked rather well. And I just enjoyed that the backdrop was of a film school. Like, what if you had a slasher film that takes place in a film school? Because we've all seen countless about college campus, but what if it deals with people trying to make their slasher film, but then all this other stuff's going on. And like I said, I did like the cast. Like the lead, Jennifer Morrison, who I remember from the TV show House, was really likable. She was appealing, beautiful, but I really cared about her. I really felt sorry for her. She didn't seem like she wasn't sleepwalking. She wasn't phoning it in. She was rather good. And I would say she was better than the girl in the first movie, honestly. The girl in the first movie, the lead, I could deal with. That was fine. I liked it. But Jennifer Morrison, I liked even more. She seemed very natural and heartfelt. And other people you have, Matthew Davis, which the last time I saw him, he was in that Steven Seagal film, Into the Sun. Hart Bochner, Ellis himself, from Die Hard. He's here as a teacher. Loretta Devine, who was in the first Urban Legend, she comes back. Joey Lawrence from Blossom. He was on this TV show I remember, not TV, this movie from the 80s I remember called Pulse, which is a film I enjoy. Ava Mendes, before she got bigger roles, she was in this film. Anthony Anderson. So no, Scream 4 was not the first time Anthony Anderson did a slasher film. This one is. And like I said, the cast, it was fun to see how it plays with reality, where you think the movie's happening, but you find out the whole opening scene is a movie within a movie. It's this airplane horror flick with dead passengers. I like some of his snide remarks on Hollywood. This movie does a fuckable better job talking about Hollywood than Scream 5 did. And I would watch this film 10 times over Scream 5. I think this film is smarter than Scream 5. Fuck, I buy the motive more in this than Scream 5. It has a better cast. And Scream 5, I guess, is a little bit bloodier, but you just see stabs. At least here the kills have a variety to it. One gets decapitated, one gets beaten to death, two of them get electrocuted. So at least there's a bit of variety. But no, gore is not first or foremost at all. If you're doing this for gore, you're going to be disappointed. But I got into the story. I liked the film school backdrop. I thought that was the right idea. And I thought there were times it was actually kind of witty. Like when they're making fun of horror to the point of, listen, this actress sucks. Yeah, well, she's no Jamie Lee Curtis. I did it. But she'll get better. Excuse me. For her acting would be wretched in a porno. Pretty much it's students filming their movies because for their college, whoever wins gets the Hitchcock Award. Which you get like $15,000, but you also pretty much get a ticket to Hollywood to direct a film. And people are like, hey, come direct this film for us. It's a stepping stone to it. So Jennifer Morrison, who again is very just likable, easy to cheer for, girl next door, beautiful lady. I like some of the talk about movies and Hollywood, mainly movies, because like when Jennifer Morrison meets Loretta Devine, Jennifer sees her gun. Oh, is that like coffee? It's like Pam Grier? Oh, yeah. Well, I'm always more of a fan of Foxy Brown. Like, these kids I can relate to. Not the fucking kids in Scream 5 talking about Hereditary. And what the fuck did she... up my dick? Up my ass? Upheaval? Upper echelon? Motherfucker? So, elated, belated, up... What the fuck? She said something Stream 5 horror. Something elevated. Elevated horror? Yeah, elevator music is horror, but it ain't elevator, whatever. I don't know. Stop talking about Stream 5. I know. But, like I said, as a guy that enjoy a lot of these actors, it was cool to see Hart Bochner, which is... He did a slasher film back in the day called Terror Train. So it's kind of cool. He did Terror Train when he was a teen. Got to do a slasher film as an adult. I did as a teacher. And so our lead, Jennifer Morrison, she says, well, she heard about Loretta Devine and her past. Maybe I'll do a film about urban legends. Ah, cool, okay. So then that's going to be your student film. So she'll get like effects guys like Anthony Anderson, this guy, his sidekick, talk about, oh, latex rules, digital sucks. Well, that's not what your messiah George Lucas says. Yeah, well, fuck George Lucas. You're going to hell for saying that. Yeah, I know. Like I said, this dialogue I get more into. I got more into this dialogue of film school nerds conversing and then trying to make the films within the film. So you have Jennifer Morrison trying to make her slasher film with the actress who's obviously being poor, just shit at her job. And the way Anthony Anderson, the other guy, trying to do their makeup effects and all the urban legend with the dead dog. They make a fake dog. Like, that stuff was kind of cool as it pertains to me. As a guy that, I just enjoy that kind of stuff. And I think that's not something you see... I'm not saying it's the first time we've seen it, but it's not something you see a lot. I'm not saying it's never been done. I'm just saying it's not been done that often. Especially around this time in the slasher era. And some of the lines just struck me as funny. You do know he's a PA, he's not a slave. Same difference. And I laugh at that because for what I've heard stories about PAs, production assistants, they are kind of treated as slaves. And I thought it had some witty moments. Like there's a bit where a person does get killed, and the killer filmed it. And then when the film crew, they're watching reels, it shuts off, and then this reel is shown, and it's this actress who said she was going to leave to do ER, but now this another piece of film. What's this? Oh, see, like, is it a snuff film? No, it's not real. There's not enough blood. Well, I think, like Anthony Anderson says, look, The major artery got slashed. There'd be a lot more blood coming out of it than that. Yeah, there's not enough blood. Like, stuff like that did make me laugh and chuckle. Like, wow, this movie's actually a bit wittier than I remember it being. And, like, the direction is competent enough. I mean, the musical score is nothing to run home about, which is ironic because, well, you know, John Ottman is not really one of my favorite composers. Like, his music, they're not music, like, I like Lake Placid, but the music is there. Hell in H2O, there's a lot of issues behind the scenes of that movie. Although I do like the film, but the score, eh. But yeah, I know there's a lot of issues with the score. And the mask, and other. But I still like the movie. But yeah, John Ottman, he's not John Carpenter with music. He's not that type of lead. I do wish, even Marco Beltrami, who worked on the Scream films, I think his score was a bit better compared to John Ottman. And so I do wish there's a bit more gore. Like, there's a decap that's not too bad. And then, I already forgot this, like, the killer grabbed the girl's kidney as part of urban legend, actually fed it to a dog. I forgot that part. That was pretty cool and grisly. But, yeah, the scenes didn't get as grisly as that afterward. And I'm trying to remember when Columbine happened. Because Columbine is when the piece of shit people went in and killed kids at a school. And then it was around, I'm trying to remember, when was that? Does this date out 2000? I wish I have my phone, but it would take forever. Well, you know, as I'm talking, I'll look it up. Because that was, when that happened, a lot of people were a bit leery on showing violence and gore in movies, so that, yeah, I don't know for sure. I don't know how much I should give away. There's one piece that I thought was a nice ode to Black Christmas. At least I thought it was. Like I said, I liked the cast. I liked how they were utilized for the most part. I do wish there was, you know, more visceral in the violence department. You didn't see a lot of that in these type of films back in the day. The slasher, these 90s, 2000s ones. Let's see, let me check this out. Sorry, I just... April 1999. Wow, April 1999. And when was this film? It came out 2000, but when was it? Came out September 2000, but when was it being actually filmed? Yeah, this film does not deserve a 4.3. I'm sorry. I have seen so many other worse shit, including Stream 5. This does not deserve a fucking 4.3. Give me a break. 4.3 my ass. Let's see. Toronto and Canada in the fall of 99. Fall of 99, huh? Fall of 99? Man, that's not too long after Columbine, so... Yeah, that was probably, that was something that screwed that thing up. So yeah, that... I would not be surprised if that had a hand in some kind of proceedings on the film. Because if Columbine happened in April, then a few months ago to shoot, is like, okay, we got people killing. Brian's college is that, but still, that definitely affected some films. So I would have a feeling that's why you want to have a lot of gore in a movie like this. But I did like the story. Like I liked its wit. Like I said, I thought the cast were fairly capable. Like Joey Lawrence, he's this guy who his daddy knows people and kind of gets pissed off at Jennifer Morrison, thinking, "Oh yeah, well, you think you're better than me? Well, guess what? Your dad was a documentary filmmaker, just like my dad was a filmmaker. So don't act like you're just some girl next door." You know, nice being a prick. Eva Mendes plays a lesbian, so progressive before progressive was a thing. But she was just a lesbian just because. It wasn't for, look at us, look how, do we get an award? No, just her character was a lesbian, just. Well, also because you could tell she had a bit of a crush on Jennifer Morrison that was used against her by the killer in one instance. So it actually was for another piece of the plot. And even the ending, people get mad at the ending, it didn't bother me. Which I'm going to spoil right now. Spoilers. This one guy, Matthew Davis's character, he had this film that the teacher gave him a low grade on. He was depressed, and then he was found dead. But then the guy had a twin, which I know people get mad about that, but in this instance I was fine with because, I mean, hell, Van Damme had a twin in like 4 movies. I could deal with it this time. And it wasn't like some last minute, he had a twin. It's part of the actual plot. And again, I like certain bits within the plot of, like Jennifer Morrison has a boom mic and she's recording screams for a film, but then one goes a bit longer than it should, and she like hears something. I mean, I'm not going to say it's like Blowout with Brian De Palma, but you know, little bits like that using the film school backdrop, I didn't mind at all. And the finale, you find out that the bad guy is, spoilers, Hart Bochner. Which I thought was kind of cool because he was a victim in Terror Train. Now he was the killer in this one. And the reason he did was because he was a teacher who was pissed that he led up to this because he had a film that he was proud of, and the reason he wasn't picked was because of Jennifer Morrison's father, who was a filmmaker. And then, well, once all this stuff happened and serendipitous, he saw this other guy, the other Matthew Davis, make this film that, wow, this is good. So he stole the film, put his name on it, killed the people who was involved with it, used the urban legends motif to blame it on Jennifer Morrison. So that was her idea. It's like, wow, this is serendipitous. I'll just do it this way. And I thought Hart Bochner sold it. I liked him. It was cool to see Ellis from Die Hard in a different kind of role. I thought he actually did a good job as the bad guy. And as a motive, people go, really? With Hollywood? I thought it was a nice take on Hollywood greed. That's the way I put it. Hollywood greed. With the way Hollywood is now, I mean, this guy wants to be in Hollywood so badly, and plus the $15,000 probably doesn't hurt either, but the idea that this could lead to make it... I mean, fuck, if The Player with Tim Robbins can deal with dying and making films, why not this movie? And Jennifer Morrison has a nice... It's not a fight, but it's like this nice little character standout between Jennifer Morrison and Hart Bochner. And that kind of symbolizes why I like the film. Because, like, you know, these actors are actually rather good. And they're not treating the film as if it's beneath them. They're not treating the film as if I'm doing some... No, they... In that little moment, they're eye to eye. They're actually trying to be real. In Urban Legends 2 Final Cut. And even, I like the way it ended, where it's like a fake guy. I mean, like I said, I liked not sure what's real, what's not, by using the whole film school stuff going on. There's a cameo at the end that you didn't need, but the movie was trying to go a little bit more tongue-in-cheek. The fucking movie ends with the Alfred Hitchcock ba-da-na-na-na-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, during the end credits. I mean, there's a little bit of a wink in there. But yeah, I don't think this film is nearly as bad as people make it out to be. I really don't. I think it's a bit underrated. Again, John Ottman, there's a part of me that wishes he was in the hands of someone who had a little bit more... How do I put it? A little bit more history, experience in directing films. I do wish, maybe because of the timing, I did only a few months after Columbine. So I was like, well, we can't do this. So I being in a bloodier film would have been nice, but I'm sure they were... I'm sure if they tried to do it, they would have been gutted by the MPA anyway. And then so. So, I can understand it. And this would mean, like, at least it made, to me, a more interesting story and cast and backdrop of the film school to at least keep me interested, keep me intrigued. Because there's been films that have gore, like Halloween Kills, and I didn't give a rat's ass about it. So, I just, I prefer, I mean, some people would argue it's not a slasher film, but April Fool's Day from 1986 is one of my favorites. Why don't people consider it a slasher film? Well, I'd be given a big spoiler if I said why. But I love that film because I enjoyed the characters. Granted, I like the film more than this, but I do think this is a bit underrated. I don't think it's nearly as bad as people make it out to be. Compared to a lot of other sequels, 4.3 my ass. 4.3 my motherfucking ass. I sure have looked to see what Scream 5 had. Whatever it has is too fucking high. Now they're doing Scream 6. Whatever. But yeah, 4.3 my ass. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.